Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and this is going to be my review of Prince Caspian, the fourth book in the Narnia book series. But before that, just a bit of Narnia trivia. In The Horse and His Boy, apparently the main message in that is letting outsiders join a community. So it's like a pun on different religions joining the Christian religion. Yes, because C.S. Lewis was very Christian, yeah. Except, technically speaking, Shasta is not a Calamine. That's the big twist. He was an Archenlander all along. Surely Aravis would be the better example of that. She's a Calamine that wants to join the northern community. Yeah. And when I first read The Magician's Nephew, I thought the lead character was called Diggory. Diggory rhymes with story. Yeah. Because when you've only got a book to see and there's no other version of it, you can only go on what you've read. I'd never seen the name Diggory before, so I just assumed that's how you said it. Then I had the audio tape version, and it's pronounced Diggory. Yeah, so yes. In fact, even in that story, they say what an unusual name. But okay, it's not Diggory, it's Diggory. Prince Caspian. Well, the thing is, when I was about 8 years old, by then I'd read two of the books, The Magician's Nephew and Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. When I was 8 years old at Christmas time, I got all 7 books, and this is the actual book I've had since I was 8 years old, yeah. And I got the audio tapes as well. So, in other words, I was given the choice. I could either read the book, you can either read the book first and then listen to the audio tape version and compare the two versions, or you can listen to the tape version first and then read the book. And Magician's Nephew, I'd already read the book, so I listened to the tape. The second book, I'd already read the book. The third one, I read like the first couple of chapters, then heard the tape version, and liked it so much that, then I listened to the whole tape, yeah. So tape first, then book. This one, Prince Caspian, tape first, and then read the book. The fifth one, I read like quarter of the book, then listened to the whole tape version. The sixth one, no, I'd read the book first, then the tape version. And the seventh one, book first, then tape version. But this one, as I said, I listened to the tape version first, the audio tape, because they had audio tapes back in the day. I'd never heard of Prince Caspian. Never heard of it. Knew absolutely nothing, so I didn't know what to expect at all. So there were no teasers, no spoilers, but in a way that's good, yeah, because... there are lots and lots of surprises then, basically. This was unlike anything I was expecting. Because, you see, the mistake a lot of sequels make is making it too similar to the first one. Well, this is a totally different story. We have the 4 Pevensey children, Peter, Susan, Edmund and Lucy, but this is a completely different story, yeah. And, a bit more visual aid, the movie version here, yeah. It was very, very, very good indeed. I saw it with Mum, Dad and my 2 sisters. And, yes, my nephew as well. Anyway, the point is, I saw this when it was brand new. I really enjoyed the movie version. My dad really enjoyed it. He only had one bit of criticism. He said at the end, where was the wardrobe? Where's the wardrobe? Where's the magic wardrobe? How did they get to Narnia, And I explained to my dad, no, the wardrobe, that's just in the second book. It's a different thing that gets them to Narnia each time, yes. So it gets you off guard. It's unexpected, yeah. In this case, something a bit different. They don't ask to go to Narnia. They're not looking to go to Narnia. No, it's Susan's magic horn in Narnia. Because Prince Caspian, the hero here, he's at his greatest need. Yes, his army are on the verge of being utterly destroyed. He badly needs help, and he blows the magic horn. Now, when in the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Susan's magic horn that she gets at Christmas time, I assumed that when Father Christmas says, blow the horn, and wherever you are, help will find you, I assumed he meant anyone within hearing distance will come and help you. I didn't realise the horn had magic powers, and that it could summon absolutely anyone. Someone in a different planet, in a different galaxy, can be teleported to you. Anyone that can come and help, yes, yeah. And that's what happens in this story. Caspian blows the magic horn, and the 4 children from another world come to see him, yeah. Now, good things and bad things about this story. It is not my favourite of the Narnia books. I did enjoy it a lot as a kid, but over the years I'm thinking, it is good, don't get me wrong, and I can't knock it. It is like the second most popular of the Narnia books, but it's slow paced, very, very slow paced. It isn't until we're halfway through the book that we finally get to see some action, you know. But then, to be fair, it is a lot to take in. Prince Caspian needs a lot of backstory, a lot of explaining. So yeah, that's all great. And okay, comparing book version to film version, there's lots of battles, more fighting in this than any other of the Narnia books. And that's why there was that speech of how it's like the planet Mars, yeah, because Mars is the god of war, yeah. Prince Caspian, more fighting in this one than anyone. It's a really big civil war, yeah. And, well, basically, the last battle in the story, at the end, yeah, that's in great, it's really described well, lots of vivid detail. There are lots of battles in the middle of this book, but not very much description. No, all it really says is that Caspian's battles, his army sees the worst of it. They're losing, yeah. But not very much description in the middle. Whereas in the movie version, yes, great detail in the finishing battle. But also we have a battle in the middle with lots of great detail. So yeah, that's good, yeah. So honestly, I like the movie version better. And this does not have a slow beginning. No, this is very different to the book version. In the opening sequence of the film, Prince Caspian is on the run straight away. His life is in danger. So, yes, cut to the chase straight away. Yes, yeah. But in a way, that's not so good. Because the movie version is better than the book version, but I'd recommend reading the book as well. Because Prince Caspian, if you just see the movie version, you don't know who Prince Caspian is, what his motivation is. You know little or nothing about him, yeah, because there's no description of him. Whereas there is in the book, we understand much more about him in that one, yeah. And, well, the middle battle doesn't happen in the book when they assault Miraz's castle. But they do suggest it in the book, but don't actually do it, yeah. Whereas they do it in the movie version. Yes, it's a great epic battle. Sadly, it fails, yes. And the Minotaur has to sacrifice his life. And, oh yes, better explain something about Minotaurs. In the Prince Caspian book, they badly need an army to get rid of all the Telmarines, to drive them out of Narnia once and for all. And one Narnian suggests, well, there's some hags and some ogres over there. Could I introduce you to them? Certainly not, says Caspian. We don't want any of that sort on our side. You're desperate for fighters. You need all the help you can get. How can you be prejudiced like that? You know. So yeah, that's a bit politically incorrect. You can't assume someone's going to be evil just because they're the same race as other people that have been evil, or because they're the same species, you know, because that's a bit silly. So no, they put that right. A Minotaur is a good Minotaur in this one, and he helps. He even makes the ultimate sacrifice. He sacrifices his life so most of the other Narnians can get away from the castle, yes, when he's holding the gate up and he's shot with an arrow, yes. So yes, that's a bit more politically correct. You can't assume people evil just because they look different. I don't have a Minotaur, but here's a toy of Tyrus, one of the fawns. Yes, this is official Prince Caspian merchandise. And, he has this action feature. You can butt things with his head, yeah, like a spring. And yes, yeah, he's not in the film that much, but in it enough to remember him, yeah. He's one of the most valiant fighters on Assault on the Castle and all that. There are two different kinds of fawns in the movie version. There's ones with goat's legs and the heads of people. This one has the head of a goat in addition to goat's legs. Yeah. So yeah, let's have a better look at him here. Hang on. There he is. As you can see, yes, in the movie they have CGI legs because nobody can walk like that. Yes, so a lot more attention to detail. His headbutt thing like that. There he goes. Yes, like a goat. Yeah. So yes, he's quite a cool figure and everything. Yeah. And yeah, I'm glad that we see Minotaurs and fawns working in harmony together. Yeah. And of course we see Reepicheep, the little mouse. Okay, got some visual aid for him. And okay, let's talk about the story. Yes, first of all, Reepicheep, the most valiant of all the talking mice. Yes, and he does his bit in the second battle of Baruna and all that. And I guess it's like a little joke. That phrase, "Are you a man or a mouse?" Yes, and he's a mouse and he's not frightened of anything. But okay, right, the story. The opening sequence, the four main children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, have been out of Narnia for a year and are teleported in. Well, they don't know where they are. All they see is a castle in ruins, yes. And then after a while, they work out that it is Cair Paravel. But how could it be in ruins after just 1 year? And it doesn't say in the audio tape version, but even at the age of 8, I figured it out. It's because time in Narnia is different. 1 year has passed in your world, but many centuries have passed in that, so everything's totally different. Many centuries ago, the Telmarines, from the country of Telmar, took over Narnia, killed lots of the talking beasts and the walking trees, and now are trying to cover up even the memory of them, yeah. So something I do like about Prince Caspian, the character of Prince Caspian is told stories about old Narnia, what it used to be like and everything, but he thinks they're just stories. It's just make-believe, yeah. And then when he meets them, hiding in the forest and in the caves, they're really real. So there's something intriguing about that, something that you think is make-believe, and then find out it's really real, yeah. So what a cool idea, yeah. And more visual aid, well, the map, this is really good, yeah. There's Archenland, there's references to it, we don't actually go there though. And then we see all these woods that are growing up near the coastline, yes. Now those woods are significant, well, for a number of reasons. The reason there's so many woods near the coastline is because, although the Telmarines have ruled Narnia for centuries, they're very confident that they've won completely. Nevertheless, in the back of their minds, they know in all the old stories, Aslan comes from over the sea. They don't want to go near the sea, and they don't want anyone else to go near the sea, so they let great woods grow up to cut off anyone from ever going there, yeah. And they believe there are ghosts in the trees, that they're frightened to ever go in the trees, yes, because again, in the back of their minds, they know the old stories about dryads, walking trees, yeah. So although they make out they're confident, secretly they think one day old Narnia could come back, yeah. And, okay, I suppose I must say, one thing I did like as a child, but don't like anymore. In the story of Prince Caspian, okay, the Narnians, in book number 2, they wait 100 years for Aslan to come and help them from the White Witch. In this one, they've been waiting just over 1,000 years, and still Aslan hasn't come back. Well, it's an act of faith. No, it's not an act of faith, that's ridiculous. An act of faith is waiting a short time, but if you wait too long, you lose all your confidence. Yeah, you're past caring if you wait that long. And what kind of moral message is that? Don't just wait forever until almost everyone you know is dead, and then eventually your God will come and help you. I think Aslan is not a test of faith. He's testing their patience. They're all at the end of their tether. In fact, Aslan has been out of Narnia for, 1,300 years? He's been away so long, in fact, a lot of Narnians are sceptical as to whether or not he even existed. Yeah, Trumpkin doesn't believe in Narnia. He believes in a free Narnia. He joins in the fighting. There's Trumpkin there. But, no, he's well, either Aslan didn't exist or he doesn't care. You know, it's yeah, pretty heavy stuff, yeah. And because they've been, I mean, it made sense as a child, waiting over 1,000 years. But as a grown-up, I think, no, that's silly, being expected to wait that long. Oh, another thing that's a bit politically incorrect. Here we have the 3 bulgy bears. And, well, I'll explain. A daughter of Eve means a human, a female from our world, so a woman or a girl. A son of Adam is a boy or a man from our world. So yes, that's what they call them there. And basically, the 3 bulgy bears say, just as the badger says, that Narnia is never right except when a son of Adam is king. Oh, not a girl then, not a daughter of Eve. No, Narnia will not be perfect again until a boy is king. No mention of girls ruling the place. In fact, there's never been a girl as ultimate ruler of Narnia. That's never happened. It's always been a boy. Well, they had the White Witch ruling, but she was evil. Yeah, so they've never had a good leader be female. Oh, they've had females be under the main leader. But yes, Narnia always has a male as supreme leader at the end. Is this because these books were written in the 50s, so sexist, or is it because Narnia is set on very medieval terms, or both? You know, so, but yeah, that could have been done a bit better, yeah. Oh, here's a picture of Caspian talking to his subjects, or lots and lots of Narnians there, yeah, a whole big meeting there. And, oh yes, I suppose I'd just like to say that he rules old Narnians, right, and that they accept him as their leader. The book's called Prince Caspian, but throughout most of the entire book, 99% of the time, they always call him King Caspian. You're not actually king yet. That's a bit presumptuous to call him king like that, but yes, they always refer to him as King Caspian. even though he's not officially the leader yet. Yeah. And okay, here's the other thing: sorcery. When basically Nickabrick is at the end of his tether, he wants to, bring the White Witch back from the dead, because he's like, we've waited long enough for Aslan. Our army is practically destroyed. We're running out of food. We're trapped in this cave. We need help right now. And he gets a hag and a werewolf to use their magic to raise the White Witch back from the dead. A necessary evil, if you like. Prince Caspian objects strongly. He says, even if you did raise the White Witch back from the dead, she'd destroy all the Telmarines, yes, but then she'd destroy us. You can't control her, But Knickerbricker says, well, if we don't do something, the Telmarines are going to kill all of us. What do you suggest we do? We don't have any choice, We can't wait for King Peter to get here. We can't wait any longer. And it gets worse. While this is going on, they have a big fight there. As you can see, the werewolf, the hag, and all that, and there's Truffle Hunter and Prince Caspian. While they're on the brink of calling up the White Witch, King Peter and King Edmund, they're eavesdropping. They're listening to what they're saying. Why don't they come in and tell them, we're here straight away? Why wait for them to turn against each other? That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense at all. Well, because they're testing their faith, whether or not they've given up. Testing faith, rubbish, nuts to that. No, don't test their faith any longer. They should have come in straight away. That way Nickabrick would never have turned against them and they wouldn't have been forced to kill him. So, yes, this thing about testing faith, it's silly. It's ridiculous, yeah. You can only push someone so far. You can only test them to a certain point, yeah. And, yes, in fact, there is even a line where Caspian says, I feel sorry for Nickabrick, he turned evil because of long suffering. If we'd been in the days of peace, he would have been a good dwarf, yeah. He doesn't tell King Peter off, though, for not coming in soon. yeah. Okay, and then eventually Aslan shows up, but still doesn't help them, and says, do what you can on your own, and I'll act and help you as soon as I'm ready. Oh, for heaven's sake, how much longer? So, to buy them some time, King Peter challenges King Miraz to single combat. That should at least give them some time. And then finally, Aslan shows up, wakes the Dryads out of their deep sleep, and the Dryads, the big walking trees, attack the Telmarines, yes. It's sort of symbolic about nature fighting back, yeah. Oh, a bit ahead of its time, if you like. The idea of got to be green, look after the environment, yes, nature fighting back, yeah. And, so yes, there are some things that are questionable, but okay, some things that were good about it. It had in real life, in history, it has been known to happen. A country invades, conquers a country, destroys your language, your culture, your way of life. All of that is wiped away. In the same way, the Telmarines taken over Narnia. They've destroyed all memory of the talking beast and what it used to be like and everything. Yeah, so it's bringing it back, basically bringing back what Narnia was supposed to be like. That's the main theme of the story. Yes, and they've been living and hiding in the woods for a long, long time, waiting for the right time to strike. Yeah. So it's good that they bring it back and everything. And and finally at the end, does Aslan could kill all the Telmarines with a mere wave of his paw, just like that? No, he doesn't destroy a lot of them, even though they've lost the battle. Instead, he makes this proclamation: from now on, talking animals and humans live together and treat each other as equals. Yes, so yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. Of course, a lot of the Telmarines don't like that idea, so they're teleported back to the world where they came from, which is our world, planet Earth. They lived on an isolated island somewhere, on planet Earth. So in spite of a few flaws, a few bits and bobs that made sense as a child but don't make any sense at all now, yes, overall, I think Prince Caspian is good. It just takes rather a long time to get to the point. We need to introduce the characters, yes, but it does take a bit too long for my taste, yeah. So overall, Prince Caspian raises a lot of interesting issues, and in spite of its flaws, yes, I still enjoy this book. Yeah. Okay, from me and the Fawn here, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.